Well, welcome back to Under Oath. Attorney Jeff Kaufman, sitting with my partner, Craig Lynd.
How you doing, folks?
Every time we do an event, people are like, where's Craig?
Were they asking for me?
They were. And they go, I saw the show the other day, and you made this comment about Craig going into the Vietnamese coffee place, and that he thought sushi was a sexual position. And I was like, did I say that?
Well, you didn't say that to me.
No,
you must have said that on another segment.
I was talking to Mel.
No.
And we were talking about the Vietnamese coffee, and I was laughing. I'm going, yeah, Craig thinks sushi.
I go in there every time.
I know.
I like the guy.
He does. But see, what Craig doesn't realize, the guy speaks no English.
That's not true.
Yeah.
He speaks some tiny amount of English.
What is he?
He understands.
What is he asked?
One or two.
Yeah. Oh, he speaks in finger. Yeah. We have.
But you say
one
two,
coffee
so
too.
I think eventually he gets it.
Yeah. Well, I just looked at Spirit Airlines. Just laid off a ridiculous amount of people because they're burning in, and they're trying to figure out how to keep them alive and everything else like that. Well, their unions have just sued them because of the WARN Act. The federal act that says that you have to give, if you're laying off a ridiculous amount of employees and you have a lot of employees, that you have to give them 60 days notice.
Oh.
Yeah. But there are exceptions, and the exceptions are financial position.
What if you didn't know 60 days ago that you were, my goodness, you could have an airplane crash and all of a sudden your business model is turned completely upside down.
Known or should have known.
Yeah.
You and I both know what known means. Known doesn't actually mean anything. Known could be as simple as, hey, you could tell by the projections. And that's what's hard. You're going, hey, what if we have a good month? Will that save us? Now, there's two different kinds of layoffs. They're the ones to appease the shareholders, and they're the ones that we're broke.
Okay.
And I think we're broke
I'll
one.
I'll grant you that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the we're broke because Spirit Airlines is basically out of business. I don't think they're flying.
Well, what is the point of suing a out of business airline? Do they not
assets?
Do they have anything?
Assets, debts.
All that stuff is going to be going first to the
pennies on the dollar.
Secured shareholders. They don't own any of their equipment outright, do they?
If they were smart, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But then again, these companies try to evaluate themselves higher. So
do we know if they lease their aircraft from another airline?
I'm not that smart.
Oh.
No, I didn't do that much research. Somebody handed me a piece of paper and said the WARN Act and everything else. And I'm sitting here going, okay, what do I know about the WARN Act?
I'm diving too deep. Because I don't know. That's why I'm
what it requires them to do normally in a situation where they could have known beforehand, like when Microsoft dumps a bunch of employees or Disney dumps a bunch of employees, that they have to take care of them for 2 months.
But okay, so let's say I'm a business and I just decide I'm not going to do the WARN Act because I don't want my stock prices to shatter. So I don't do it. And then I just lay off 35%, 45% of my employees.
I could be responsible.
For what?
But I have to give them 60-day notice.
What if I don't do that though? What's the penalty? So what? What do you assume me for?
I have to pay them. And plus I can get the fine.
Oh.
Yeah. Double down.
Oh, how do they have to get paid their salary for
60 days?
Oh, well, that's something.
Now
60 days times 35,000 employees.
That's a lot of moolah.
Who's running that? Oh, we should get into that.
Okay. You want the math on that? Well, take about $6,000. Let's say it's 5 times 35,000 times 2.
5 times 35,000 times 2.
Here, we'll give you a second to do that.
Hold on, let me do the math.
We'll take a short break. We'll play some elevator music for you.
Would be $350 million.
You sure? They can't afford it. You can't charge somebody $3 to fly from Orlando to California and make that money back.
Yeah, I'm not getting on that airplane.
I've been on it. It's not bad.
No, I mean the $3 flight. Yeah, if you're too cheap. Actually, Jeff, what's the floor for you? You're booking, right?
Right.
And you want to go. I know you go to New York and Las Vegas quite a bit.
Yeah.
So let's say you're trying to find a Las Vegas flight. At what point do you go, no, that's not enough. I need to pay more than that just for my own sense of security.
I have certain airlines I fly that I'm pretty comfortable with. I love Southwest. I fly Southwest all the time. Because of all the flying and because of the credit cards and everything else like that, I get on the plane early, I get my seats, I'm able to book at basic price and get my seat wherever I want.
So an airline you never heard of
Frontier
before,
and Spirit.
$100.
Hold on. Frontier and Spirit were always sketchy because they would just not fly.
They just cancel the flight.
Like I was in Vegas. They go, can't fly, wins. I was like, what do you mean wins? Wins? And they're going, yeah, we can't fly. Southwest never got canceled because of wins.
Huh.
And I don't like particularly flying some of the upper airlines because the seats are smaller sometimes. And they're not as organized for some reason. Southwest, when people complain about Southwest, they're going, well, I don't like being part of the cavalcade. You're not anymore. All the seats are assigned. You're in and off the plane. So I have no problem. And Southwest is my favorite airline.
So what's your no-go, though?
My no-go?
Yeah.
My no-go became Spirit and Frontier because they had let me down too many times. And I will fly these when I have to. Now, when I have to fly in, when I do, even though I'm practicing law, I do stand up all over the country. And some of these places that I have to go to, like I went to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Escanaba. Not a major airport in Escanaba.
Hold on, let me get this straight. So you spent probably about $3,500 to get to a spot where you earned $100 for a stand.
That $500 or $1,000, it doesn't quite cover the flight
stipend.
What I'll tell you what, but fate.
But you got your experience. I mean, that's part of
to be able to work at a high end casino or do something in front of like 500 to 800 people, and we laugh now because when I do a deposition or I do something else, I could care less. I am locked in. I know my facial. I know the looks on my face. I know I'm talking. I don't get aggravated because, when you're out there in front of 500 people, yelling at you, it's easy to take on one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see it a lot differently now. And I think it definitely pays dividends. And people always ask me all the time, so you're a stand-up and you're an attorney? I said, it's actually the same damn job. It really is. Because
I kind of tell stories, check and check.
Yeah.
I challenge other people's stories, check and check.
I take crap from the other side, check. Judges and juries can get a little weird. So you never know what you're going to get.
Can get a little weird.
I mean, you and I both did. We did when we tried a case in Tennessee, and halfway through, we realized the closing wasn't working. For the audience was just not. I mean, the jury was just not into it, and I personally felt that they were. And I very rarely say this because I won't say this, but I was absolutely positive this was the most racist jury I was ever in front of. These were some white people, and our client was black. And that jury didn't even care. I didn't think they cared for 2 seconds.
We had a black guy on the jury.
I don't think he cared.
Oh,
you and I both know that having a black man on the jury is not the same.
That guy carried his Bible with him every day. I noticed
even worse.
What?
Worst. People who carry the Bible with them, they'll apologize on Sunday, but they'll screw up all week.
That's not true, Jeff.
You and I, we realized when we first started our practice.
What did we realize?
Oh, remember the pro bono work I did for the church because Matt wanted me to for the church school. And when they screwed up, they filed the bar complaint against me.
That was a dance studio. That was a friend of his that he knew from church. It wasn't for the church.
Oh, she was real churchy.
She was a church lady.
She was real churchy.
She was a church lady.
And out there, the ones I'm talking about. The ones who are in the choir and they're all sleeping with each other. Yeah. See, that's the one thing about God forgiving you once a week. Instead of like going, hey, let me be a decent person. No, I'm not decent. I'm only decent on Sundays.
Most Christians acknowledge that they themselves are sinners. Are you aware of this?
Oh, look at that.
They
Isn't
do.
that great.
They do.
Hey, we did what we did because we're built that way. F that. You know what? I love when somebody isn't able to go somewhere and get forgiven for it.
What do you mean?
If I knew I could get away with all my crazy crap, as long as on Sunday I showed up, what'd Jeff do? Well, he burned down, killed a couple of people, but on Sunday, he said he was sorry.
It doesn't work exactly like that.
You know what that is? That's like an apology a judge forces me to do in court. When he goes, Mr. Kaufman,
that's what I think you're mistaken.
I'm sorry.
I think if you do a forced apology and you're not sincere, I don't think it counts. I think the people who are fooling themselves thinking, I can just act however I want during the week and then on Sunday go apologize for it and now I'm forgiven.
Okay.
I don't think that most people act that way.
But that check's only paid at the end.
What are you talking about?
Well, at the end. You only
The
have
end,
to
the
pay
end?
that check at the end.
The end,
When
like
God
when
goes,
you die.
when God goes, you really didn't mean it, did you? No, I did. You know, through their whole lives, they think they're okay. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, you and I can
That's
agree
true.
that's BS.
That is true. There are a lot of people who probably have fooled themselves into thinking
Yes.
that they're going to make it. The Bible even talks about that. There's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth. The people who
Oh my
thought
God.
that they were.
Did you just say wailing and gnashing of teeth?
Yeah.
Are you dovetailing those pages in the Bible? Is that what you're doing now?
Dovetail.
Is that what it's called? Dovetail? Is
I
it
pay
dovetail?
attention. I pay attention.
You pay attention?
I pay attention.
You know what happened? This MF became close, touched death over the last couple of years. So now he's like my mom. My mom born again.
Is she?
Yeah.
Your mom's born again
Born again
Christian?
Jew? No.
Oh, born again Jew.
She's finally
Is
go,
that
oh,
important?
I went to temple. You know, they start speaking a lot of Hebrew when the Reaper starts coming. You know, and I
Something
think that's
about getting near the end of your life makes you focus on what's
yeah,
more important.
it's like, uh-oh. I think that's what happens, the uh-oh moment. Uh-oh. I ain't sure.
You ever had an uh-oh moment? Like, I need to get right.
No, I've had near death moments.
Yeah.
And where I've asked God for help. But I didn't go, hey, if you help me out here, you know,
we're
going to be twice as good.
I saw a movie with Burt Reynolds, and I don't forget the name of the movie, but he was way out in the ocean. He was drowning. He's like, "Oh God, please just help me make it to the shore. I'll give 70% of whatever I make." And then as he gets closer and closer to the shore, he keeps repeating it, but the number keeps going down and down. Like I said, God, 50% of everything I make. And then by the time he's at the shore, like I said, God, 10%, and he's on the sand.
Now, Spirit Airlines going out of business. I don't know if they're covered under the Warrant Act because financial problems, I mean, they basically went bankrupt.
There's two questions there. Can you make the argument that you should have known you were going bankrupt because of your sales and you knew that Congress was not going to approve of, I don't know, these different flights or whatever? Can you make the argument that, no, you did know, it's not a sudden business thing? But even if you're successful with that argument, if the company doesn't have any money, what are you going to do with the judgment?
And these people don't have first liens. You know, I guarantee the airports.
They're unsecured. Yeah, lawsuit people, folks, you guys, if you win a lawsuit, you are an unsecured creditor. And what that means is you are the redheaded stepchild of all of the people who are owed money.
You're back in the line.
The last in line. Well, you and all the other unsecured
when Spider-Man
creditors
comes out, you're in the worst seats.
Yeah. The one right on the screen looking up like this.
Yeah, you staring directly up at the screen, kind of go, is that Spider-Man? But yeah, I think in this situation, it's going to be difficult because there are so many creditors out there. And yes, once you get a judgment, you get in line, but they won't have that judgment for years.
Well, yeah, and everybody who's secured before you, they're ahead of you in line.
Oh, and here's something else.
And they get the secured guys get all of what they're owed before you get any.
And here's something else. Let's say you do file a lawsuit, and this is what a lot of people don't realize. The minute they file bankruptcy,
it's over.
Your case is put on hold.
Hold.
And I can't tell you how many times
like throw away the key hold.
Craig and I have had some fantastic cases, and we're really trying to help people out. And then a company went bankrupt. And we're like, oh.
That's a 2-year pause.
Oh, so now it's a 2-year pause. And then they go, okay, well, there's a guy out there who's going to break the money up.
The trustee?
The trustee comes out there, and then he gets paid a lot, and nobody else gets paid anything.